There are a lot of things that are going to change in your life so much when you start looking at yourself the way God looks at you, the way God sees you. Because this is the thing. As human beings, we tend to look at ourselves from the lens of society, the lens of parents, the way we have grown, the parents we have grown with, or just the environment we have grown in. We start looking at ourselves and measuring our intelligence and our brightness and who we are, and we define ourselves according to the worldly definitions and the worldly introductions that we got ourselves being introduced to. And now this is the thing. In the book of Second Timothy, it says that, for God has not given you the spirit of fear, but that of love, a sound mind, but that of power, love, and a sound mind. And now this is it. The moment you realize that God is the creator, and God created you, and He has created you in His image, you start looking at yourself in a whole different way. There is some level of awareness that you get to receive at this particular moment in life that you never ever received before. And such moments can be seen in moments of being still, the moments of being alone, the moments of calmness and gentleness, and the moments of unplugging from your normal default thinking and moving to a higher level. And this is just like being in a creator mode. And so this is the thing. If you're looking at yourself from the lens of the world and the lens of parents and the lens of your traumas and the lens of your difficulties and your own flaws, sometimes you do not really know your own power, because there are things, there are books, there are businesses you need to start. There are projects you need to embark on, but you have not embarked on because you're fearful. You're fearful and you have self-doubt. And so the moment you realize that God has not given you a spirit of fear, but that of power, a sound mind and love, it gives you a whole new approach and perspective to things. So the moment I'm going to walk into a room or any business or endeavors that I'm doing, I'll now start looking at myself with power and courage, and my self-esteem will definitely change when you start looking at yourself the way God sees you. Because you now believe that the Creator is in you. His Spirit lives in us. The Holy Spirit lives in us. And so He's a counselor. He supplies you the wisdom that you need. And so most of the times, it's like, this year, all I wish for you is for you to start looking at yourself the way God sees you. God sees you as a genius. God sees you with so much capabilities. God sees you with so much gifts and talents inside you. God sees you with so much potential. Potential to run businesses. Potential to write a book. Potential to move from one state to another, giving wisdom and knowledge that He is gonna give you and just deposit. Sometimes it's good for you to challenge yourself. God sees you as capable to read books that have been in your shelves for years. But since you've been in a season of you don't want to read, you don't even believe you can, and that's something limiting. So there are so many limiting beliefs that you have to unlearn for you to now have these new beliefs of a belief that God believes in you more than you even know or more than you can even comprehend. And now it's you entering into a journey of starting to believe in yourself the way God believes in you, so that you can be able to show up like who you are supposed to show up as. Sometimes you are showing up with so many different personas from society, education, and things, conforming. We're always conforming and doing things the way people want us to do things. And so it's now being in a space of not conforming, being in a space of, can you do things as you? You're brilliant, you're a genius, you're creative. So have you asked yourself, how creative am I in my job? How creative can I be in such a space? You already have a creative sense of you, and you have to tap into that creativity in the moment of flow and stillness and quietness and turning inwards. So let this be an year of turning inwards and start believing in yourself again. Start seeing yourself like the way God sees you, as a capable human being. You can achieve anything you want to achieve through His strength. And so when you start believing in yourself and looking at yourself the way God sees you, there is a whole perspective that will change. You'll start showing up in the world as a whole different new person, as a whole new being. And so do this for you to start seeing the power that has been in you all along. But because there are things you have received growing up have just limited you and your eyes and then you have your inner child who is unhealed. And so start reparenting yourself. Start reparenting yourself and giving yourself the things you did not receive growing up. If it's the love, start giving yourself more love. God is love. And so love is you. You are love. So start changing your perspective from a perspective of looking at yourself from the limiting eyes, and start looking at yourself from who created you and placed you in this earth. He has given you capabilities, a mind. You can create. You can start things. You can do things. You can challenge your mind. You can challenge the things you think you know and learn new things and learn the things you know. So you're so much capable. How I wish you look at yourself in the mirror now, this year, looking at yourself like God is in you. And so if He is in you, you embody His strength, creativity, curiousness, geniusness, higher intelligence, provisions of wisdom, provision of what you're saying and what you're learning and what you're doing. You have so many provisions that have been given unto you. But when will you start seeing you? When will you start seeing you from who you were created to be, not what the world told you you should be? Start looking at yourself from an eye of the Creator, and move away from all the eyes of trauma and healing and all these things and the wounds, and start seeing yourself as a whole human being, a human being who was created with so much capabilities and strengths and gifts that you have to gift to the world. So may this year be the year of you realizing your gifts that are inside you and giving those gifts to the world. There are books that you have inside you, you've got to write. Believe in yourself, you can, because you've already been given the power to do so.